Alright guys, welcome back to part 3. Um, so, we're just going to jump right into this and take down our ex-boss, Spark Mandrill. His weakness is actually from Chill Penguin, which is the ice thing that we got. But again, like I said, I want to go through this with the least amount of backtracking as I possibly can. And his stage is another one that's actually altered because we already beat Storm Eagle. Otherwise, his stage would have a lot more like electrical things going through it. Like this flashing of the lights wouldn't happen for one. It would just always be lit up. And then in this area, it also wouldn't be dark. And then we're going to get to a small mini boss here that's actually different because of it too. And it actually makes it a lot easier. And that sucks. I thought I was going to die there, honestly. Playing while trying to keep the buttons from clicking really is like a challenge. You ever want to make, like, do a stupid challenge for yourself? Just do that. Get a really, like, potent mic? I don't know what to call it. A really good mic that's, like, you can pick up everything and just try and play a game without hitting the buttons hard. Never realized how much I actually do that. This was the boss I was referring to, though. When he's doing those little like jolt things that seem like something should be happening, that's where electricity would be shooting out if we hadn't already beaten Storm Eagle. But as you can see, he's a lot easier without it, though he's still a little unpredictable sometimes. So now that we defeated him, I'm gonna progress through the stage. I want to see if I can actually get 3 stages done this episode, because I think the past 2 episodes have been 2 stages, which is fine, but at the same time I want to get through this as quick as I can just so I can play maybe a more popular game that a lot of people actually want to see, because I know this isn't exactly the most popular series, even if it is my favorite. And I think I also want to real quick, there's a heart tank right here. You just dash jump out to get it. It can be a little tricky at times. There we go. I definitely want to redo this series once I get better at, I guess, YouTube in general. Maybe better editing, better at talking, better quality of stuff. Because like I said, you know, favorite game series, I want to do it justice. And I'm also going to play the other 8 games eventually, but those will probably be in a little bit because I know not the most popular series, so probably not going to get a lot of views on it. I was thinking that maybe my next video could be, or my next Let's Play series could be on the Halo games, because I really enjoy those Halos. They're decently popular. So this is probably the easiest boss in this game as long as you have his weakness. I've literally sat here and not moved before and killed him before. But since I'm talking, you know, brain kind of doesn't want to work the same. But yeah, this is it. This is his whole fight. The only small hard part that comes with this is that right there. If you shoot too soon, his invincibility is still active, so it just kind of, it hurts him, but it doesn't stun him. But yeah, a lot of these games, actually all these games, have it to where certain bosses are weak to other bosses' abilities. And a lot of the times when they're like this, to where it's just like stupidly easy, it's referred to as Spark Mandrill Syndrome, which is that right there. That's why it's named after that boss. Alright, so next we're going to go over here to Armored Armadillo stage. Believe it or not, the electricity is actually a weakness to the ground guy, which I never understood as a kid. So I could never figure out what this dude's weakness was, because I never thought to try it until I just finally tried it one day. I still think it's dumb, but that's how this game works. This stage is also cool because this is one we will have to backtrack to if we're going to 100% this game, which I do want to do. And it's actually one of the more secretive things that I'm sure everybody knows about at this point, but you can actually get the Hadouken from the Street Fighter series in this game. And give it to your character, and it can one-shot any enemy, including like all the bosses. The trick is, though, you have to have full health in order to use it. So if you get hit once, you can't use it anymore until you have full health again, which isn't exactly awful, but still like not the best. I honestly don't use it usually, just because I don't know, I have more fun playing the game, if that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it's still a fun thing to collect, and I think it's something that I should collect on this series. Let's see. So, like I was saying earlier, I do want to play the Halo games eventually for the series, and after that, I'm a little bit out of ideas on what to play. So if anybody has any suggestions, I'd love to hear them, and I definitely will do my best to play them. Just know I don't have a ton of games, because my tastes are very specific, so some of them I might not have, and then my internet is also pretty garbage, so I probably won't be able to play many multiplayer games, if any at all. But I do have some future plans. You know, one of them is the Halo series, and I also want to have a Smash Bros. Tournament with all my friends, and see which one of us, you know, does the best in it. We did that one time. We didn't have it recorded, and it was definitely a lot of fun. So it's something I wanna do. And we are already at the boss. That was a lot quicker than I expected. So, I thoroughly think this is one of the harder bosses if you do not have his weakness. But his weakness makes him pretty easy as well, especially if you get him stuck in this loop right here. Sometimes he'll just get stuck in it for whatever reason. And other times he'll be smart enough to not be stuck. But yeah, as a kid, this guy caused me a lot of trauma because I could never figure out his weakness, and I would always lose to him. But yeah, let's see. I think we actually will be able to do a third stage in this video, so that'll be kind of cool. Next stage, I believe, is Launch Octopus, which is, I think, the shortness of this stage will actually be made up for with Launch Octopus, because this stage, if I remember correctly, is kind of long. So, yeah, any game suggestions you guys have, I'd love to hear them. And also gonna probably have Sativa on this series eventually. I would have her tonight, but she's pretty tired. Like I said, I was supposed to work tonight, and I was supposed to do overnights, but that didn't happen, so she's sleeping, and I figured I'd get some videos pumped out while I can. I'm actually thinking about just finishing the series in this one sitting, so I can just upload them at different times and move on, you know. And I almost died in spikes. So this level has water physics, kind of. So, yeah, that's a thing. And it's got this little annoying mini-boss. This one's not too bad, but the next one is probably going to require some focus, because it is over a pit of spikes. And it's more annoying than anything. One moment please, my cat just messed with my HDMI cord, so I cannot see on my computer. Sorry about that. Alright, we're back. The joys of having animals. Darn it, stop. I don't want to use all my weapons. I still got to take down this other guy. Alright, so here we go. This is one of the harder parts in the game, I think, just because of the spikes, and then the sucking of him, and then he'll blow you away, and then he'll suck you again. And that sounds really wrong, but, I mean, I can't really say anything. I'm going to just cheese this out, because like I said, I don't want to have to do this again. So we're just going to cheese the crap out of this boss. And I died. Alright, cool. Cheesing was not the answer. Good lesson to the kids. Don't cheese things. It gets you nowhere. That would have worked if I had had the electric spark thing, but since I ran out of it, which is the weakness to this guy, I wasn't able to inflict enough damage. But that's alright. Everyone makes mistakes. I don't like this. No. This part's more stressful than any other part in the game. I'll just say it outright. Especially while I'm trying to talk and play at the same time. There we go. It's amazing how such a small part of the game can be so nerve-wracking. I believe you can go up here and get something. I don't remember what. Gosh dang it. You gotta be good at it though, apparently, which I am not. But, yeah. If you've never actually played this game, I do highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of like action-oriented games. This whole series, actually, I'm playing on the recently-ish released collection of the games, where it's got all the games like 1 through 8 on, 2 discs for the newer generation consoles. And yeah, I highly recommend getting that. They also just released a spin-off series of this. They released a collection of that I want to get. Anyway, down here is this guy, which he guards another heart tank. He also doesn't like to die. Also, I don't know where I am, so I might fall on spikes. Yep. Oh, wow. You see that clutch right there? That was sadly anticlimactic. And I can't get those. Cool. Love it when the game screws me over. That's fun. Alright, so I believe we're about halfway through the stage now. Maybe a little more. Yeah, I think we're about halfway through. So, oh my gosh. These guys are annoying just because the only parts you can hit are their tail or heads, and the rest of it is completely immune to everything. And these are usually easy if you have the tornado, because the tornado just hits everything so many different times. But since I ran out, I just gotta play his stupid little mini game of him digging in the dirt like a toddler. Look at that smug face. He knows what he's doing. I do like his expression when you shoot him, though. He just kind of gets shocked, like, oh, he actually hit me. Oh my gosh. I think after this, though, should be close to the boss door. You're probably going to hear some clicking. I'm sorry. I was trying to get through this fight a little quicker. And that requires me to do certain things. And also my cat scratching my chair. The joys of filming in your bedroom. Your animals like to mess with things a lot. And yes, that was the same cat that took out my HDMI cord a few minutes ago. He likes to cause me trouble. Just die. Alright. Finally. Can move on from this. Please tell me... Of course not. So, I know what I'll do. Alright. I honestly expected him to suck me in, and I was just going to use the flamethrower on him. That was my cat again. Alright, so we're at the boss now, which is Mr. Launch Octopus. And his weakness is probably the lamest move in this game, which is a rolling shield. Just a big old energy ball that rolls. I don't know why, it's so lame to me. He is still quite challenging, even with his thing though, just because he shoots so many different things out, and these the shield doesn't protect you from all of them. But as long as you just like jump over and do stuff, it's not too bad. Also, I feel like a better way to design this weapon for his weakness is it would go through all his stuff instead of like colliding with it and both exploding, because wouldn't that make more sense? But anyway, that was our third boss, so we're gonna call it we're gonna call this an episode, and I will see you guys back here soon.